What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Of course, put the notification bell on all so you can get notified straight away when we drop new content on the channel. So, recently there's been a lot of people covering this news, and yeah, it concerns Billy Joe Saunders and, of course, MTK Global. As we all know, a little while back now, a few weeks ago, I think it's exactly 2 weeks or so now, we had Saunders versus Canelo, or Canelo Saunders, and obviously prior to the fight, Billy Joe was talking a good game, telling Canelo, "You've never faced a gypsy man like me, you've never faced a man with a heart like me." He was very critical of Daniel Dubois, and Daniel Dubois quitting in the ring, taking a knee, and he was, basically saying, "Nah, brother, you gotta get carried out the ring." And there's recordings of this all over the place. And he himself ended up being retired in his corner by his corner man, by Mark Tibbs. And ever since then, obviously, a lot of people have gone after Billy Joe Saunders. A lot of people have been making videos and talking about the fact that he was made to eat his words. The very same, even Daniel Zabar came out in a very sort of nice way to Billy Joe Saunders. He didn't repay him for what was said, what he said about Dubois sort of not having heart and having to be carried out. Daniel Dubois didn't take any jabs at him. He just said maybe he'll learn his lesson. Maybe this will teach Billy Joe something for talking about me. You had Chris Eubank Jr. making mockery of Billy Joe, of course, as these guys are rivals, and Billy Joe has even gone as far to talk on Chris Eubank's mother, and bring it to a very personal level. He's done a lot of disrespectful things over the years. However, he's a very good fighter. But lately, the big story has been that they've been there were obviously videos after the fight. You had Radio Raheem. That's the interview I saw where he interviewed Mark Tibbs more or less straight away after the fight. They were in sort of I guess it was like a big hallway where you go towards the cars or whatever, and he was asking Mark Tibbs some questions about the fight. Tibbs was honest. He said, "Look, I just wasn't getting the response that I wanted from my fighter, so I had to pull it. I had to wave the fight off because Billy wasn't giving me the response I wanted." I think Raheem, he tried to probe a little bit further, but Tibbs was visibly sort of a bit distressed, and he definitely he made it clear that, look, I can't really say any more than that. I just wasn't getting what I wanted, and I had to pull the fight. I'm not going to say anything more about it. You need to hear from Billy Joe Saunders himself. Billy's going to explain it himself. I'm not going to say any more. And now, in recent days, all of these interviews where I think he done, so that was seconds out, the one I saw. I think the other was something like, I think IFL TV, and also Behind the Gloves with Michelle Joy Phelps. These are guys and media outlets that always have access to the boxers and the trainers. And since that fight, basically they've all the major platforms, all the major interviews with Mark Tibbs post fight have all been taken down. I done a little search the other day, and all I could find was stuff going back towards the Dillian White versus Chisora, where Chisora threw the table and all that sort of stuff. Found that sort of stuff there, and apart from that, you can find other people who have reposted these interviews, but the actual interviews that are from the direct sources from the channels have all been removed and sort of taken down. And many are saying that this is an effort by MTK Global, who managed Billy Joe Saunders, to do kind of a cleanup operation, to do damage control, because obviously This doesn't look good for their brand. Their fighter was talked up as one that could possibly topple Canelo, or at least in his mind. And yeah, it's a lot of damage control going on. Even Ben Davison, who wasn't really a part of the team for the training. He wasn't part of the training camp. Even he came out and said, yeah, Billy Joe was saying he wants to continue, but I said I stopped the fight because I didn't want to see him taking any more damage, and I could see how hurt he was, and I could see his eye, and even he's come out trying to do damage control as well. But Mark Tibbs has since after that come out and said, look, Ben Davison, we only saw him on the week of the fight. He wasn't in our training setup for the whole camp. He was just there on the night and during the fight week. So the decision was really mine, and I'm the one who made the decision. So there's been even little conflicts there, and overall, yeah, this is one of those where I don't know. I think it's I understand where they're coming from, that they're trying to protect their guy, and I think it's pretty much as straightforward as that when it comes to the removal of footage and taking stuff down. I think it's just the management company just trying to basically protect their client and prevent anything further. But I think in a sense, by them taking it down, is kind of brought more attention to the whole issue, and I think it is kind of brought more coverage to the whole issue. I think had they left it up there, they might have well, Saunders would still be getting attacked online, and he would still be getting stick, because obviously he's give it to other people before, so he, you reap what you sow. But I think had they just left the stuff up there, I think people will still be saying practically the same thing. There'll still be people say, obviously people still say he quit, because in the corner when it was waved off, he didn't protest. You could see he was quite dejected in the corner. You could see he didn't look like he wanted to continue at all. He looked like he was quite dejected and quite happy to just be pulled out of the fight. So ultimately it's one of those where I don't know what was said between rounds. I don't know what Billy Joe's response was that made Tibbs want to pull the fight, but I guess all we can do is guess that his response obviously wasn't positive. He wasn't showing any signs that he wants to fight on. So obviously that's makes us lean towards him quitting. So it's one of those. It's all getting covered up a bit now, but for me personally, I think that kind of may give this issue of Saunders quitting or whatever, it might give this whole thing a longer life than it would have had they just let the footage stay out there, let it stay up there, and let people say what they're gonna say. People will move on eventually, but I think that cover-up operation and pulling the stuff down will give this whole thing of Billy Joe quitting a longer life than it would have had otherwise. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Bit of a cover-up operation, but again, I think it's going to give the issue more life than it would have had. So let me know your thoughts on this whole thing, the whole cover-up, footage taken down. And until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out. I'll catch you on the next one.